Hello, hello, this is Jen. I hope everybody's good. I'm here with an energy update, so welcome if you're new. Welcome back if you're not new. Thank you for being here. So, what's going on in the universe? The real question is, what is not going on? Because guess what? There's a lot of things going on as usual. And I know I've been here in a long time. Two reasons for that. I felt a little bit stuck and I needed to take care of that before coming on here and giving updates to people. I couldn't picture myself coming on here and talking without taking care of that blockage that I had. So I did, so here I am. Second reason is I went through this phase of expansion, like non-stop expansion on all levels. I had started talking about this in my last video, I believe, when I was explaining how, everything is going super fast, how I'm reaching another level of sensitivity. And now it's, how can I describe it? It feels like 5D is there, very present in the 3D. It's here in the physical plane, but there's still like little pieces of 3D, and those little pieces are taking a lot out of me, a lot of energy to either ignore, solve, or deal with, because sometimes you don't have a choice to deal with those little moments of being stuck in 3D. And that got me even more stuck in 3D for some reason. I needed to figure out some things. I needed to clear out some things. So I couldn't come on here and be clear and be a straight channel like I usually am. I needed to take care of me first. So sorry for being focused on me, but here I am today. And I hope that everyone is good despite whatever and everything that is going on earth. It is very ashamed that we are witnessing what is happening right now. As if it wasn't enough that we went through 2 years of having our freedom, choices, and liberty taken away. And now we have to see human beings at their worst. But anyhow, this update is not about what's going on in Ukraine, but support to Ukraine. Support to whatever is going on out there. I don't know the truth. I don't know what is behind that aside from ego. And funny enough, the last full moon we had on Friday, March 18th, brought a huge energy of enough of this ego. I was taking notes earlier in March because I knew that I was going to come make a video soon enough. And I was preparing, taking notes, and on my pad it was written next video. And I wrote, I don't know if I can find it here quickly, but I wrote something about ego, how it's time to really let go a big piece of ego, because we are seeing and we are being confronted by people that do have very egoic behaviors. And that is very scary whenever it happens, because it creates whatever is happening right now. And I'm talking in Europe, I'm talking about like all over the place. Perhaps you are feeling this as well in your personal life, where you are confronted with people that will use their ego instead of their hearts, or instead of being in service of others, they will be in service of themselves, service to self, as a lot of people like to call it. And that can create a bunch of difficult situations. So we need to be alert with who is around us, who is acting this way, to either help these people see it, because some of them just don't see it. So to help these people see that they're doing that, help them, let it go and move on into a heart-based living. There were a lot of deception and deceit going on prior to the spring equinox. Remember, I'm in Canada, so we just had the spring equinox, and there was a lot of deception and deceit, as if people were totally aware of who they really are, but they were playing a role, not wanting to put forward that part of themselves. So that was creating deceitful and deceptive situations. As if there was a layer like of energy in front of these people where they could hide. It's no longer the case. The full moon took that away. The equinox said, no, that is not coming back. It is just not coming back, okay? So whatever you're trying, it's not coming back. So you're going to need to figure out a different way to function and operate, which should be from your heart. So these people, once again, are being pushed to go down in their hearts. It's always the same thing. We are here to experience a heart-based living situation, life, and experience, not an egoic situation in life. But there will always be these people living from an egoic standpoint. We also, with the equinox, we ended the fall cycle, and in fall we usually harvest. We harvest stuff and we let things rest for spring. So this is exactly what happened. Whatever started for you late summer, beginning of fall, is now being integrated in your physical reality. It's always in cycles. Sometimes it's one season at a time. Sometimes it's 2 seasons at a time. It really depends where you're at on your own journey and what you're willing to let go and what you're willing to receive. It's all about opening your hearts, your arms, your hands, your eyes to receive, to be able to just receive what the universe wants to deliver to you on a silver plate, basically. But in order to do that, we need to be able to surrender to this process, because receiving can be as difficult as letting go. Believe it or not, receiving can be very extremely demanding, very difficult, because sometimes we're like, I don't understand what's going on in my life right now. Everything is upside down. Everything seems to be changing. And instead of being scared of change, what we need to understand and embrace is that movement of life taking place in your own life. Once you realize that, oh, there's a movement, there's something happening, let go. Lean into it. Surf the wave. The universe will bring everything that you need. If only you allow it, if you get out of the way. But yet again, in order to be at that perfect place, you need to let go some stuff and some things and some people first. Just like if you want to buy new clothes, but you have no more space in your closet, you're going to need to purge your closet, right? You're going to need to make some space. Same thing in your life, same thing with your energy. So if you were a very intuitive person prior to this equinox, you're even more intuitive. You're seeing it in your dreams, perhaps at this point. You're seeing it with the new people that are coming into contact with you in your life. You're seeing it with everything. Everything seems to be more at ease, more like flowing, more like, oh, finally, it feels easier. It feels like home. Or I've been waiting to meet people like you in my life. Are you my best friend now? Kind of thing. And remember how I used to speak a lot about twin flames? And after some time, after a lot of experience with the twin flame experience, because remember, it's an experience. Not everybody's meant to be in a relationship with their twin flame. This is where a lot of people went wrong in the story. And after experimenting with that and playing with that from different angle, different standpoint, different people even, I not decided because it wasn't like my mental decision. It was more like, okay, you're ready to stop talking about this now. I stopped talking about this because you reach a point on that journey where you realize that everybody is your twin flame. And now I know you're going to be like, what? What is she saying? But wait a minute before you judge, okay? Move along if you totally disagree or totally do not resonate with this, and just listen for a moment if you think you resonate with this. Think about it. We're all one. We're all related to one another. Everything is connected to everything. Therefore, everything is your twin flame, and you're a twin flame to everyone. Twin flame is a state of mind, a state of consciousness. It's not about the romantic relationship. It's not about that perfect partner that you think you have. It could be, if it's part of your contract of why you came here. It could be something else as well. Perhaps you're part of these people that met multiple twin flames and couldn't figure out what was going on there. It was only for you to figure out that you're a twin flame to everyone, and everyone is your twin flame. Or twin flame-like energy. When you connect with like-minded people, and not like-minded people, a third energy is being created, just like with the twin flames. So, of course, along my own journey, I consumed a lot of books, knowledge, and information on twin flames. And I still stand where I was at the beginning, where I always or often said nobody has the absolute truth. I still believe that nobody does. I still believe that everyone has a different and unique experience with the twin flame. Therefore, for some people, that's history because they graduated. It's history. They no longer need to identify with twin flame in order to carry on with their mission. They needed that at some point for healing, for growth purposes, for spiritual ascension, and now it's no longer needed. So if you're asking yourself, what the heck happened to my twin flame? Perhaps this part of this update is for you. Perhaps you're resonating with this. If you don't, that's totally fine. You're on a different timeline, different path. So going back to the ending cycle that I was talking about that started in late summer and beginning of fall, it ended with the spring equinox. And this was a really long cycle. If you think about it, it was half a year, like around 6 months for a lot of people, where it was a growing phase, a phase of releasing, letting go, seeing things differently, using your intuition in a different manner, and now you're fully ready to use that on a physical level, everyday life kind of thing. Openly talking about your own gifts and using them. A lot of people are ready to come out there and say, you know what, I'm a very spiritual person, and I'm not talking about teachers or false prophets. Just, I'm a spiritual person. And I know I have this gift, and I'm ready to share it with the world without having a purpose of making money out of it. Just doing it because I can. Because I can. And because that's why we're here as a big family, human family. And talking about spiritual gifts, I have a question that I want to ask. I'm going to put the question in the description as well. But if I was to make a class on energy healing, would any of you be interested into taking it? It would probably be something recorded, pre-recorded, not something live. But would you be interested in learning my own method? For some reason, I am guided to ask this question and perhaps share this gift that everybody has inside and help people in their own lives and help others as well. I know that I've been helping a lot of people with the spiritual healing that I do, the energy healing that I do. Everyone has a different form, but energy is energy. Whether you use Reiki or a different form, it's still energy. In my case, I developed my own method that I discovered in meditation with thought that came to me, showed me stuff, and at that time I didn't know what to do with it. I just didn't know. And since this man has a really big sense of humor, if you've ever connected with this man, you know what I'm talking about. He has a very wicked sense of humor. he's very intelligent, so he mixes, very intelligent jokes into his teachings and conversation. And I was in meditation one time, and I was like, okay, I'm ready. Show me what I'm ready to know today. And he came in and he delivered a bunch of tools to me, and I didn't know what to do with them. And he was like laughing, and he was like, just go back on earth and you're going to figure it out on your own. And he was like, go child, but in the very loving manner. And for a few days, I didn't know what to do with that until I knew what to do with that. And the moment I did understand what to do, it was again in meditation. I started doing energy healing on myself, and I was like, oh my God, this is so powerful. And because I wasn't sure of what I was doing exactly, I started practicing on people that I know and people that trusted me. And the comments that came back from that was just totally amazing. And when I was doing it in a divine way, where I was surrounded by my guides, my spiritual team, and any kind of teachers and masters that wanted to work with me at that time. And each time I do energy healing on people, there are either ascended masters, teachers, divine entities that are there to guide me and to show me what needs to be done. And when the task is too heavy for me, they pick up the slack that I can create. They just work with me as a team with the person, and together we are able to clear some stuff. Through that technique, I learned how to clear past life blockages, some form of physical blockages, not all, and it does not replace medical treatments, not at all. And I'm able to work emotional stuff. With that technique, I was also able to help people pass or cross the rainbow bridge when it was time. I remember this one specific client of mine who was in England, and I had the privilege for the first time in my life to help someone cross over. And it was her who came to me through this channel, and her friend who called on me the night that she, was going to pass. And she called on me and she said she wants you to help her. And that was a very beautiful moment to have with another human being. And I'm getting very emotional as I'm talking about this, because she came to me not too long ago, like maybe 2 or 3 days ago, saying, Jen, you need to go out there and help other people do that. Because what you did for me at that time was so wonderful that other people need to learn also how to do it. So I'm just wondering, if I was to record a class, put it on sale on my website or on a different platform, would you be interested into buying it? So I'm asking here, and this will serve as a market study. If the answer is no, it's no, it's fine. If the answer is yes, it's yes. So just put yes in the comments. I'll know what you're saying yes to. Other than that, well, it's spring now. Here, it's spring. So spring comes with, of course, different energy, as I often repeat. And it's also one of the reasons why I came less on there in the past year, because I felt I was repeating myself. I felt that, the message was out there enough. It wasn't up to me to put more content, but it was for people to consume that content. So I'm here again to say new energies, new cycle beginning. It's a process, and we need to learn to embrace the process. We need to learn to love the process in order to go through it. And as you reach the end of a cycle or a process, it's like a spiral. When you start, the laps of the spiral are longer. The loops, the laps are longer and longer. And as you integrate and work on your stuff and get to the end of that cycle or that process, the loops and the laps are getting shorter or quicker. So when you reach that physical sensation of being in the up and down, up and down, up and down in a very, very rapid way, usually that's the indication of the end of a cycle. And also the beginning of a new cycle. So you need to embrace that moment, because it could be very physically demanding to be there. Energetically, it's really demanding to be there. We tend to feel extremely tired, hungry all the time. We want to either eat sweets or eat, quick energy stuff that will give us quick energy, as opposed to eating protein that will take longer to digest but give energy on a longer time period. We want to eat stuff like carbs, like chips, like sweets that will give us the instant reward that we want to feel. And this is usually where we gain weight also, because we're human, right? But when we get at the end of this cycle, things go super fast, usually. Like super, super fast. Quick. And it's hard to keep up. It's easy to get lost. It's easy to lose your objectives or to lose your vision of where you're going. When you feel overwhelmed like that, surrender. Surrender. Let go. Completely let go. Like, lie down and meditate as often as you need. And don't do much if you feel like not doing much. It could be difficult to explain to your surroundings, to people around you, and to your social context or situation. But, you do what you need to do. I know that when it happens to me, I tend to get into a retreat within myself so that I can understand exactly what's going on. And sometimes I don't understand right away. Sometimes I have to wait. And I tend to want to rest a lot because I'm tired, because the little task that I need to do is suddenly heavier and harder to achieve or to complete. Once that's done, I get on the other side, completely on the other side, and I burst out with energy. And I'm like, I don't know what to do because I have too much energy and everything is done. All my tasks are done, completed. So I'm left with more energy, more time. And this is where you grow. This is false. Let me start over. This is where you continue to grow, because you start growing when it's really painful, and you continue to grow in that phase where you have your energy and where you're like, what can I do? What new things do I want to integrate in my life? This is also usually when you start meeting new people or connecting with new people. And when you do that, when you start seeing that pattern showing up in your life, you need to embrace it. Don't run away from these people. They're your new friends, your new guides, your new soul family, your new team that will help you work with whatever's next for you in that phase. As simple as that. I know it's not simple at all. It's not because when we're stuck in a human body with an ego, we're like, oh my God, I'm losing stuff. I'm losing people. I'm losing clients. I'm losing contracts. What is that for? And then, boop, 2-3 weeks later, you have something new and you're like, oh, that's why. Because if I had kept that other friend, or if I had kept that client, or if I had won that contract, I wouldn't be able to say yes to this. And this is much better than what I had. But I didn't know at the time. All of this to say, trust the process. Trust your own intuition, your own internal GPS that will take you exactly where you need to go. Of course, there could be some small detour. That's fine. Just like when we're driving, sometimes we hit construction and we need to take different routes. That's fine. Same thing can happen in life. So with that being said, that's going to be a short video for today. I will be back for other energy healing updates, for other energy updates. And you can follow me on social media at IndigoGirl555 on Instagram, IndigoGirl on Facebook. You can reach out by email at IndigoGirl555 at gmail.com. And until the next time, be well.